Good morning, friends, followers, my subscribers, my army of Trevorage and cultists, and those of you that chat to me in a private chat on Instagram. My Instagram subscribers, thank you very much for all your support. It means a lot. Well, people, today is Thursday the 9th of May. And I have to give a big shout out before I start this morning to this company. Look at this company right behind here, Pagoda. They sent me this beautiful, stunning watch. Designed by Special Forces, company owned by Special Forces. They won't take your shit if you send a message about me. Tell you now. Trained in everything there is. Anyway, fantastic, loving it. And yeah, my favourite timepiece right now. Can't forget GHQ. GHQ have these memorial bottles coming out for D-Day to commemorate 80 years since D-Day, where 15 Allied nations hit the Normandy beaches to try and repel Nazi Germany. Yes, those bottles are fantastic. They're coming out 3 different bottles, and they're giving proceeds from each sale to 3 charities. Now, I'm going to go on the limb and I'm going to say it's the Royal Navy and Royal Marines charity. It's the Army Benevolent Fund and the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund. Got them. Thank God I got those 3 charities right. Yes, so well done to GHQ Spirits for helping out those 3 great charities. So there we go. Yeah, I mean, I looked at the media this morning. Thanks for the messages. Thanks for the emails. I do appreciate it. I went through them. Debs, thanks for your email this morning. I did read it and I did respond. I got up. I was lying in bed. I woke up early, lying in bed. Picked up my phone to check my phone, and I had so many notifications, and I just had to look through quite a couple. So I had a lot of them answered before I even got out of bed this morning, which is great news. Now, I did post my community page on YouTube that today I'd be revealing something, and yeah, I'm going to make this video my last video on YouTube. I may come back on YouTube in the near future. I may come back, but for the time being, my videos will now only be on Instagram from today. Yeah, we knew it was coming. I told you I was going to take a step away, and I am. You have to. The thing is, I get to a level and then I move on. I get to a level, then I move on. I get to a level and I move on. You have to keep redeveloping yourself, redefining what your meaning is, where you're going, the purpose, and where best suits you. So there we go. Yeah. There's a lot happening on YouTube. There's a lot of nonsense in the background, which I have completely avoided. Yet for some reason, I'm still in the nonsense, but I'm trying to avoid it. Right. So I looked at the media today, quite a lot of it. Yes, there was that 10 years Invictus Games anniversary service in London. Yeah. Not many people turned up for that. Anyway, apart from that, did you know that iPads being sold by Apple, right? This is crazy. So out of all the iPads that Apple keep producing and putting in the shops, only 6% are being bought. 6%. Now, I'm no genius in electronics, but for me that is alarm bells, as in people don't want it anymore. Move on to a different product. 6% sales out of what you're producing is not really good, is it? But at least they're making money. I'm sure they're probably still making a profit on that, even though it's only 6%, but there we go. And for those of you that took the vaccine for COVID, AstraZeneca has now had, well, it's admitted liability in court that it does have effects, and they've now put out this thing saying that, okay, anyone that has had AstraZeneca injuries, you now only have up to 3 years to put a claim in. Okay. Now let's see if AstraZeneca are going to cover those costs of those claims. Or are they going to go to the government? Is it going to go to the taxpayer? We'll find out. But it's now through it's now through a lot of doubt towards the others like Pfizer and Moderna. They're now in panic mode going, oh God, did we rush ours? What's going on? You have all these pharmaceutical companies which made trillions of dollars in profits, who strong-armed the pharmaceutical companies that had strong-armed senators and politicians across the globe are now under pressure. Well, yeah, they're under pressure. And you know, it's their own fault. It's their own fault. It really is. It's shocking what people were subjected to. Yeah. And you know, seeing I think about this, I think back to our own politicians and Prime Minister telling us, giving us rules and regulations and changing laws where we had to do things. And then they were drinking alcohol in the bars in the House of Commons. They were having their own private parties. I mean, even the health secretary that had the bollocks to go on our TV screens back then and tell us what we could and couldn't do was ignoring the same rules. So it just goes to show that they didn't even fully agree with the rules they were forcing on us. Yeah, quite sad. And I do feel sorry for the thousands of people that died during COVID who didn't get to have a proper burial and whose death certificates all said the same thing. COVID. Yeah, but there we go. Now I can speak this is a fact. I had a neighbour, a wonderful guy, a veteran, wonderful guy. And he was he had health issues during COVID. And this is a fact because his wife lived next door. And I could see his skin going like yellow. It looked like jaundice, whatever, you know. You could see he had a liver and kidney failure. And the hospital wouldn't take him in because of COVID. The poor guy died. And they wrote on his certificate COVID. She fought against it and had it changed. But I think she's suing the NHS. So I wish her all the best of luck. There we go. Yeah. Right. If you have a bank account and you're part of the TSB, in my opinion, and without prejudice, I would suggest you change banks. The TSB is closing 36 branches of their banks up and down the country, and they're cutting back. So you need to go for a bank which is in your local town. I mean, my bank is in my local town. I mean, there's no point having, like for instance, there's no point me having the Ulster Bank when it's in the Northern Ireland. There's no point me having National Westminster when it's 2 cities away. You need to start getting the right banks that are in your own towns, because a lot of people aren't doing it. Hence bank closures. So anyway, there we go. And I've just found out that the ex-England cricket legend, you probably have heard of it, Monty Pansear, great cricket legend, has joined the Workers' Party with George Galloway. Interesting. He's done a couple of interviews at the minute, and in his own words, they've been complete car crashes because he in his opinion, forget about the parties with. Look at what Monty wants. Monty wants to work for his constituents. He wants to change things around where he lives. He doesn't care about what's happening in Scotland or Wales or Northern Ireland. He cares about his constituents. He doesn't care about what's happening in London. He says, I'm doing it for what I want to do here. It's called the Workers' Party, so the name sort of resonated with him. I'm a bit sceptical of the Workers' Party, though. I did say well done to Monty, but I am a bit sceptical of it. And I'm only sceptical of it because when George Galloway got voted in as an MP, the first thing he said was about the Palestinian people. And I'm thinking, you're voted in to work for the people here, George. Why are so many of these new councillors all shouting Allah Akbar and Free Palestine? I mean, what is happening in our country? I don't give a shit what's happening in Sydney or Auckland, or I don't care what's happening in New York or Toronto. I don't give a shit what's happening in Dublin. You should only care about the people around you, and I know it sounds weird saying it, you should only care about Woodbridge. What do we need in Woodbridge? Well, the Green Party are coming together this week, Trevor, and we want to shut down power stations up the coast. But that's not in our constituency. Leave it to them. We've all lost our way, and that's it. You shouldn't vote for things which aren't going to improve your life. That's my opinion. Yeah. And by the way, it's in today's media, and I will put a link in the description of this video. Listen to this. Having a rant with your friends actually makes you happier. A new poll has suggested. So having a rant each day makes you a happy man or a happy woman. Yeah, get it off your chest. Get it off your shoulders. Get it off. Get it out there. And then you've got no stress. Once you get it out there, you have no stress, do you? You can just chill. Have a relaxing day. Yes. And the Reform Party, Reform UK, a lot of their councillors are now under investigation by local authorities because in the past, a lot of these councillors have actually said that they believed that Tommy Robinson was a brave man. So they're under investigation now for saying they believed that Tommy Robinson was a brave man. I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, see when it comes to Tommy Robinson, he's like Marmite. Either love him or you hate him. Me, I don't hate him. I don't love him. I think some of the things he said in the past have been relevant. I think some of the things he says in the past have not been relevant. Does that mean you get investigated because you have an opinion now? Imagine that. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, 95% of Labour politicians have agreed with Free Palestine, and not one of them are under investigation. Whereas the Conservative Party agree with standing with Israel. Isn't it weird that none of them are under investigation? But if you mention Tommy Robinson's always been a threat to the establishment, because the establishment is sort of both sides of those corridors have failed our country. They have failed the constituents. They have failed the UK. When someone comes in and goes, you're failing because you're letting in too many boats and the hospitals and the NHS are now packed with people, which means ordinary taxpayers can't get treatment they need. There's people now getting married, having lived through their lives and now need a home, and we can't find a home where they live because you put 3,000 immigrants and all the empty houses in the councils. So the minute you start speaking up about that, you're classed as far right, you're classed as extremist. Bit of a sad time. But there we go. Anyway, listen, as I said, tomorrow's Daily Rant will only be available on my Instagram. Have a wonderful day, people. I think it's time to go. Take care. Stay safe.